Welcome to Here and Now. A new statue honoring the province's Beothuk is standing tall at Confederation Building. We'll have that story, plus
we talk about not just the way our loved ones are treated when they pass away, but when they're struggling with health issues.
The morgue in Nain is working again, but the area's MHA says that fix doesn't solve everything when it comes to healthcare in the north.
Sharing the memories and remembering certainly helps us try to get by.
Gone but not forgotten. A 35-year-old tragedy remembered.
I think it's really important and brave because like dry venues, you're not going to get all your money back because usually that comes from alcohol.
A new space without the substances. An all-ages rock venue opens in St. John's.
This is CBC Here and Now.
Good evening and welcome to Here and Now. A ceremony in St. John's this afternoon put the province's Indigenous history front and center. A bronze statue of members of the Indigenous Beothuk group has been unveiled on the steps of Confederation Building. Here and Now's Mark Quinn reports.
The statue is of Damasduit, Nonosabasut, and their child. John Cabot still stands at the bottom of the steps of the Confederation Building, but the new statue recognizes the people who were here when the colonialists arrived.
To me, it's a very important day to have a statue that represents the Beothuk people here at Confederation Building. It's our place of parliament. It's a place where the people in government and also the civil servants gather. So it's a reminder of, I guess, the harms that's been done to Indigenous people.
It's a violent story. Damasduit died of tuberculosis in 1820, a year after she was kidnapped by European settlers at Beothuk Lake. It's believed she was taken in retaliation for an alleged theft. Nonosabasut was murdered as he tried to prevent her from being taken.
Remember the murder of missing women? Well, this is an old race of people that was slaughtered and killed. And this is their red ribbon. We should remember what happened to them. And there was nothing less than genocide that happened to them. And that's what we have to remember. That's what this statue represents.
These statues of Damasduit and Nonosabasut were also unveiled recently in Botwood on National Truth and Reconciliation Day. The couple's remains were originally placed in central Newfoundland, but were stolen in the 1800s and held at a Scottish museum. After years of advocacy by the Mi'kmaq First Nation and Chief Mizel Joe, they were returned to Newfoundland in 2020. Those remains are still being held at the rooms in St. John's. Government officials say exactly where they'll go hasn't been determined yet. Mark Quinn, CBC News, St. John's.
The grief of losing a loved one sometimes never leaves us. 35 years ago, 3 Coast Guard crew members died trying to save a surfer in Middle Cove. They were remembered today at a ceremony on the shores of where the tragedy took place.
I was surprised when I got the call from the Canadian Coast Guard. They're a tight-knit organization. They're dedicated to the memory of those that lost their life that day. Yeah, no, it's a great turnout. A lot of people that were involved that day have showed up, and a lot of nice words were said and memories shared. Today we gather in the same place where they lost their brave souls in the line of duty some 35 years ago. We are here to honor their memory. Pierre Gallion, senior engineer, Raymond Vulture, leading seaman, and my father, Gregory Peddle, chief officer of the Canadian Coast Guard ship, Sir Wilford Grimble, who paid the ultimate sacrifice. This incident has left an indelible mark on our collective consciousness, and our hearts go out to the families, friends, and colleagues of our fallen heroes. I offer my heartfelt condolences to each and every one of you. these ceremonies and getting together with our Coast Guard family and sharing the memories and remembering certainly helps us try to get by. I hear people often say that, you know, you get over something, but you don't learn to get over it. You just learn to cope with it. And these are one of our coping mechanisms to help us get through it. There isn't a day that goes by that I don't think of Pierre, Raymond, or my father. I can say from the depths of my heart that they thought they were coming to save a life. Little did they know that they wouldn't leave with their own. It never gets easier. You just learn to deal with the circumstances life has given you under a thin layer of hope and love from family, friends, and memories.
An update now on a story that we brought you last week. The morgue in Nain is back in working order. It was broken for 2 years. Bodies stored there were decomposing quickly without proper cooling. That's something Layla Evans, the region's MHA, called unacceptable and disrespectful. She now hopes the fix is a sign that healthcare access in northern Labrador will improve, because she says many don't have trust in the system.
I've been trying to be positive, but for me is we look at what, for example, for what happened now with the morgue at the clinic. It was going on for 2 years. All of a sudden it was public, and now they made sure it was fixed. And they did it the Thursday after it went public. But how many Thursdays do we have in 2 years? How many loved ones did we, have placed in this disrespectful, condition? So for me, and it also extends to having loved ones diagnosed too late with cancer, although they've been trying concerns and trying to get care. So I think we're facing many barriers. Not just being able to get out to our appointments, but to be able to access proper treatment and respect as a patient from our doctors. It's like a third world country when you're trying to access health care. And we see that now in the harms being done to our people, where we have people pass away from diseases that were treatable. And I said 2 years ago in the House of Assembly, one of the things that echoes in my mind is the voices of loved ones saying, if only we would have got them diagnosed, if only they weren't misdiagnosed, if only they were able to get out and have the treatment, if only.
Statistics Canada's September job numbers surprised economists today, with an increase twice as large as that in August. It amounted to a gain of 47,000 jobs after 4 months of minimal change and no decrease in the unemployment rate. Analysts warn, though, that it may just be a temporary break in a long-term trend of slowing growth. And despite today's numbers, they still expect the Bank of Canada to cut its interest rates again. Well, it looks like Team Gushue is on the hunt for a new player. The crew announced a change-up in a press release released late yesterday. E.J. Harden, seen here in the middle, is leaving. He first joined as second in 2022. Together, that team won back-to-back Briers, 2 World Championship silver medals, and 2 Grand Slams. Now, the release doesn't give any reason for the split, but does say it's amicable. This leaves Team Gushue searching for a replacement with the next Olympic trials just over a year away. Well, from throwing rocks to rocking out. There's a new music venue in St. John's, but this one isn't catering to the typical downtown clientele. Here and Now's Maddie Ryan has more.
Ryan Thornhill knows how hard it is to make it in the music scene. He hopes this new venue will help anyone who wants to start a band.
Being in a band myself with a lot of the younger musicians that have recently started playing in bars and stuff like that comes from being a door guy for several years. But that led to me meeting a lot of the younger musicians in St. John's, and on that discovered the massive need for a practice space as well as a stable and safe spot to have all ages shows.
And young musicians know how hard it is to get those all ages shows on the go.
you're emailing churches, you're emailing community centers, and like, my God, to get a response is like impossible. So this is what we've been waiting for sure.
Yeah, it's like if you don't have like a venue yourself, like generally it's like a 20% chance of happening. And I don't know, it is like a blessing to have a place like this in our scene.
In Newfoundland and Labrador, most bands play in bars. Underage musicians can play those gigs, but the Liquor Corporation rules are tight. Young musicians have to be supervised, have written permission from mom and dad, and they have to leave the bar as soon as they're done playing.
Yeah, it can just be hard to like find places, but I mean, they'll take you, but like maybe not after 10 p.m. and stuff like that, and then you're getting kicked out and you can't see bands you like.
Unsettled for the next 2 days as we roll into the Thanksgiving weekend with showers on tap and some pretty gusty winds as well. We'll walk you through it with your full timeline coming up.
I love those old pictures like this.
A lot of history here.
Everybody looks like they were, just posing for the pictures, eh?
These are people who made me who I am.
Somebody's got to tell the stories.
Well, from old photos to new ones, like this one behind me. If you logged on to any social media site in the last 12, 14 hours or whenever it was, you would have seen that there was quite the show on the Avalon Peninsula last night. Just take a quick look here. The Northern Lights stretched as far as St. John's. We had so many people send us pictures from all over, as far away as Bonavista. Some wanted to show off the shots that they took, but you just look at them. Look, Gina Penny's from Witless Bay. The greens, the pinks, like this in Heather Cranford's picture from Pooch Cove. Now, I know the viewers in Labrador are going to be like, Jeremy, we see this all the time. Not a big deal. Obviously a big deal on the Avalon, but I know that it was just a regular Thursday for the folks in Labrador. But for people on the Avalon Peninsula and up the Bonavista Peninsula and other places around the province, they were able to see it. It's unusual for us to see it at this part of the province. Now, not many people knew that they'd ever get the chance to see them from their backyards, as Vanessa Mooney did there in Placentia Bay, and from their couches. But Labrador, don't you worry. If you stay tuned to the end of the show, we got some pretty neat shots of the Northern Lights coming out of Nain, too. But just look at that. Some pretty. Does it ever lose its shine? Probably not. Ryan Snodden now is going to come in with the weather and break it all down for us.
Time for a check of your full weather forecast. Ryan Snodden in for Ashley this evening, and we're going to start with what everybody is talking about across a huge portion of Canada and that beautiful display from last night. Thanks to Owen for tagging this for me. Not exactly sure where on the island this was taken, but a beautiful scene indeed, and you can see the reds and the greens. And getting this question a lot today. How do those auroras form? Well, yeah, thanks to Earth's magnetic field. Of course, we have all those charged protons and electrons emitted from the sun, all that solar energy. But thanks to Earth's magnetic field, those particles, we're protected from Earth's magnetic field. And those particles then follow the magnetic field and end up kind of entering our atmosphere through the poles. And yeah, the result is the electrons collide with all those various molecules in our atmosphere. And the result is these varying colors. And that is really what is dependent on the colors, is how high in terms of altitude those particles are entering our atmosphere. And you can see the red auroras are typically highest, and then some of those greens, which really are kind of the most common to see, 100 to 200 kilometers up. So yeah, tonight, not nearly as strong of a solar storm as last night, as that solar storm is easing, but the KP index between around 4.5 to 5.5, so that certainly does put us in the mix to at least have the potential to catch a glimpse tonight. But as we'll show you in the forecast, it's looking a little on the unsettled side. As you can see, wind warnings and rainfall warnings continue for the north coast of Labrador tonight into tomorrow, thanks to this low which is spinning around. And with this low spinning around, we've been watching these showers blowing on shore to the west coast, up towards the Burin Peninsula and the Avalon as well. We've been seeing some isolated showers. And that low really is going to be conducting traffic for the next couple of days. We've got this trough from James Bay over to the Great Lakes. That's going to swing through tonight with some showers. And so, yeah, it's looking rather unsettled, no doubt. The wettest conditions in Labrador, and then we're looking at the scattered showers across the island for tonight. As you will see here with the future tracker, we'll see some breaks in the skies. And so if you're out walking the dog, do have a look up. You never know. Fingers crossed we'll get a glimpse again. For tonight into tomorrow, we've got, cool enough air that this is going to be snow wrapping into Labrador City, Wabush, and Churchill Falls. Not expecting a lot of accumulation, but maybe a couple of slushy centimeters, not out of the question, not only tonight, but throughout the day on Saturday. Certainly enough to green up or whiten the grass for sure, as we are going to be watching that throughout the day. You can see this trough moving through across the island for tomorrow will spark some pretty gusty winds. The Burin, the Avalon, will gust towards 70 kilometers per hour. Could even see some gusts towards 80 down towards the southeast Avalon, places like Cape Race. And so Trepassey will be watching for the potential for some of those stronger gusts. But either way, it is going to be a pretty gusty day. Temperatures limited to the high single and low double digits. And you can see the temps even cooler in through Labrador. So that low does wander out to the Labrador Sea. We're looking at, for Sunday, still just some scattered showers across Labrador with a mix of a flurry. And across the island, you can see some breaks, but Showers on tap again on Sunday. We'll see some breaks of sun, especially for central areas of the island. Temperatures once again high single digits, low double digits. One of those weekends where if you're heading out, you're going to want to grab the rain jacket just to make sure you've got it with you in case you need it. Now, as we look into the Monday time period, it's going to be our best day of the week, no doubt, as we'll be watching that low depart. A very isolated chance of a shower. The clouds a bit stubborn on Monday, but quiet ahead of the next system, which will arrive on Tuesday. So Monday's our break to get out and stretch our legs after all the turkey on Sunday is likely the best day to get a little feed on. Now, as we can see for your 5-day forecast into Central, again, some breaks of sun Saturday, Sunday, but Monday's the driest day. And then Tuesday, Wednesday, again, looking rather unsettled. Similar story for Western Newfoundland. And then for Eastern Labrador, we'll see a wet day Saturday. Not bad Monday, some flurries in the mix on Tuesday. And yes, that snow for Saturday, wet snow, but snow nonetheless with flurries back on tap for Tuesday as well. That's your forecast to now. Jeremy, back to you.
There's still a chance for us to finish in first place in our division, but it does fall into the hands of the game today between Ontario and BC.
The Holy Cross Football Club women's team is looking to three-peat as national champions. We check in with the team in BC. That's coming up after the break. In 2022, the Women's Holy Cross FC made history when it won the Jubilee National Championships. It was the first national soccer title ever for any women's team from this province. Now, the Newfoundland and Labrador men took the national title in 1998. Fast forward a few years, and the women from Holy Cross are looking to three-peat and win their third national title in a row. Keisha Young is a forward with the team and joins us from Surrey, British Columbia. Keisha, how's the team coping with the time change?
We've kind of been trying to stay on Newfoundland time a little bit. So our games kick off at 3 p.m. here, but it's 7:30 at home, and that's usually what time we play anyway. So it's been good so far.
So today, Friday, is an off day as far as I know, but how have the games gone prior to this?
Yeah, today's a rest day, but we played our opening game against Ontario, a team from Scarborough, on Wednesday, and we opened up that game with a 5-1 win. So that was a great way to kick off the tournament. Yesterday, we played Surrey, BC, which is the host team. They were a strong team, and we did fall to them 2-0. It was a really good game. It was a challenging game, but we did fall to them. However, we have secured our spot in the semifinal, which we'll be playing tomorrow.
So do you have any idea who your opponent is going to be for Saturday's kickoff?
No, not at the moment. Right now, we are playing. There's still a chance for us to finish in first place in our division, but it does fall into the hands of the game today between Ontario and BC. If BC happens to get a win off of Ontario, it could change things. And then depending on the score, there's a couple of different factors in play. So we'll have to see what happens there, and as well what happens in the other division.
I believe that I met you and members of the 2022 team when the Holy Cross FC, when you won that national title back in 2022, and I learned a lot about that title. How significant was that win when you won the Jubilee in 2022, Keisha?
Oh, it was massive. It was probably the most surreal feeling of my soccer career, probably. I've been with the team for 10 years, and that was probably, I guess, maybe our 7th time we went to nationals, given the pandemic. We lost a couple of years there, but it was our first nationals back after the pandemic. We all wanted to go, and everyone always knew we could win a medal. And then being the first Newfoundland women's team to ever do it in history was huge. And then to come back last year in 2023 and then do it the second time, it just brought it all together. It was an awesome experience.
If you Google Holy Cross FC Jubilee right now, the headlines that come up are Holy Cross FC looking for the three-peat. Is there any additional pressure on this team knowing that you are the 2-time defending champions, trying to win for a 3rd straight year?
There's always some pressure, but we're confident in what we do. And there's one thing that we always say with this team is that we do have an intangible piece that we know how to win and come together in big games and pull out like any hard work we need to do to get it done. So we know we have lots of support back home and from our province, and we're just using that to move forward and get the job done.
A lot of these games, if people do want to watch, they're being streamed live on YouTube at Canada Soccer's YouTube page. What difference does that make to allow your friends and family who are back home in Newfoundland and Labrador? What does it mean to know that they can be able to watch when you are so far away from home?
Oh, it's so nice that it's being streamed. It's so easy. YouTube's super accessible. Like our family at home, like they're having watch parties, and I know my family and my fiance and his family, they all got together and ordered pizza and watched the game together online. And so that's super cool to still have that support, even though they can't make it out west to come watch.
You and I spoke in 2022 when you won this, and we talked about the future of soccer and what that victory, that national title in 2022 meant. How important not only was it for soccer in Newfoundland and Labrador, but for women's soccer in particular, to get that first national title?
Yeah, I think it's just kind of paving the way for younger teams to look and see what they can achieve. I've come to nationals in youth years and placed 10th and came last, and that has been a reality sometimes coming from a smaller province and going to these bigger tournaments. But it just goes to show that just because we are from a smaller province, smaller population, it doesn't necessarily mean that we can't compete. You know, we have a very strong team. We have very strong players coming up through the youth program. We have some youth players here with us on this tournament. They're doing excellent. They're they have all the tools they need to succeed, and it's great to be able to set that example for younger players to know that they can achieve good things in the soccer world, especially for, like you said, on the female side.
What does that feel like to know that you are a two-time national champion and to have younger soccer players look up to? Because I'm sure that they do. There's a lot of soccer. It's probably one of the biggest sports in Newfoundland and Labrador right now. But what does it mean to you personally, I guess, to have younger female soccer players look up to you, knowing that you are two-time national champions, looking for the third national title?
Yeah, it's awesome. It's definitely something that we're all very proud of. It's something we'll always be proud of, something we'll always have to remember. Like we have a couple medals now, like through the youth program, and we also had bronze here in Surrey in 2017 as well. So just going to show that we can like come here back like time and time again and succeed. It's great knowing that like younger players can watch us succeed like that and use our team as motivation or role models. Like it's great to kind of be in that figure for younger players for sure.
Now, I'm sure there's parents and grandparents watching this being like, Jeremy, they're not the only team from this province away at nationals this week. And you're right. 5 of them, 5 other teams. See, the men's Holy Cross team is currently taking part in the Challenge Cup Nationals. That's also being held in Surrey, BC. This is the U17 team. Their Under-17 Cup is taking place in Nova Scotia. The Under-17 girls are trying to rebuild on last year's effort. That's the boys team. They're represented by CBS. And the Under-15s. Their nationals is underway in Quinte, West Ontario. I had to Google where that was. The Under-15 girls represented by Paradise, while the boys, as you can see here, are represented by the St. John's Soccer Club.
A lot of us, grew up playing soccer, so it's another, just basically home away from home for me.
Coming up, we'll introduce you to one of our 2024 Black Changemakers, who has started a league that brings together newcomers from different countries, giving them a sense of belonging. When Jeffrey Mazinobe arrived in St. John's, he saw one thing bringing the city's Black and newcomer communities together: soccer. But instead of each group playing separately, he wanted to get everyone on the field. Now, a tournament that he co-founded is helping hundreds of folks find a new home team.
From inception, we actually had the purpose of building the community through soccer. And that has actually been our mission, and that has actually been our goal. Hi folks, my name is Jeffrey Mazinobe, and I was chosen as a Black change maker for the year 2024 in Newfoundland and Labrador. So I am one of the founders for the International Soccer Tournament in Newfoundland and Labrador, and I'm the president for this organization. And our purpose is to bring diverse people around the common passion, which is soccer. And we also build relationships and strengthen connections among these people. I am a Nigerian Canadian, and I live in St. John's with my wife and 2 kids. I came to Canada to do a master's in computer engineering at the Memorial University of Newfoundland. When I came to Newfoundland and Labrador, I used to play recreational sports, and I saw a lot of people, booking the pitches 1 hour, 2 hours, the Ghanaians, the Puerto Ricans, and we just have friendly matches with them. I told myself, how do I get this in a way that we will all come as one, in building the community through this interesting sport. And we started organizing friendly matches between different nations. And from then, we decided to actually create a forum where different countries can build a team, come together, play a tournament. And in 2022, we started the first ISTNL soccer tournament. When we started the ICNL, it was among the Black community, but that was not the goal. We had the Ghanaian team, we had the Zimbabwean team, the Nigerian team, the Tanzanian team, and then we actually had to reach out to people and let them know that this is not just for Africans. We are actually expanding to any region in the world, and that's where we are today.
There's not very many chances to play with a team of just guys from where you're from. So it's kind of a home away from home. And a lot of us, grew up playing soccer. So it's another, it's just basically a home away from home for me.
So what's meant to you?
It's good. It's good community. It's a great way to get the community engaged, celebrate our culture and celebrate football as well.
Having a team in Nigeria has helped us to be able to meet with other Nigerians that have either come here and don't even know, they don't know anyone to meet. Them being in the team has helped them to settle in this province. Apart from that, meeting other people too that play for different countries here, it gives us that sense of community.
Bringing the first group of teams together was a bit of a challenge because we came from different cultures, we had different attitudes in football and all that. But one thing we knew for sure was that soccer is a language. And once we are around the common passion, which is soccer, we speak the same language.
Jeffrey himself, wherever he is, he's there, right? Impactful is who he is, right? And through this platform, through ISTNL, he has been able to create an impact here in the community.
The big final is here tonight between the American team and the Nigerian team. It's going to be electrifying. Really, I'm so happy to be here tonight, and I'm so proud of the league, the tournament, and how far we've come. The ICNL made them understand that, oh wow, I have a fellow Ghanaian in Newfoundland and Labrador. I have a fellow Ukrainian in Newfoundland and Labrador, and everybody was like, wow, if we have to work together, we are going to build a bond. We are building bond within the team and outside the team.
Of course, we're playing football, but life doesn't end at football. There's more to life than that, and it's a great way to meet people who can help you in life, in your jobs, friends. Even the kids might come out, they look at us and they want to be like us, so that's a great way to engage everybody.
The winner of the tournament is going to be celebrating the community, you know, because the tournament itself is, you know, bringing the community together to share a passion.
We've been talking about Hurricane Milton on the show for days now. Now we wanted to take one last look at the devastation. People in Florida are picking up the pieces again. The state has been slammed by 2 hurricanes in 2 weeks. Helene blasted ashore on September 26, then Milton roared across Florida 2 days ago.
It's unbelievable. I mean, I know it's material things, but I gotta start all over again, you know? Everything I had there is no good.
As we know, Milton pounded Florida with torrential rain, powerful winds, and destructive storm surges. Some of the worst damage came from up to 20 tornadoes that touched down during the storm. At least 15 people have died. U.S. President Joe Biden will visit storm-damaged areas on Sunday. Today, first responders continue to help people trapped by floodwaters. Governor Ron DeSantis says 1,600 people have been rescued. So Uber is still fairly new in this province. It's been operating on the Avalon for about 5 months. The ride-sharing giant is moving to a new pay system in which pay is calculated by artificial intelligence. But critics say the system itself is calculated to get more money from Uber, from both patrons and drivers. The CBC's Philippe de Montigny has the story.
George Wedge is an Uber driver in Toronto. Instead of being paid at the end of the trip based on time and distance, a new algorithm now sets how much he'll earn for a ride before he accepts it.
It's based on something that's absolutely unknown to us.
With upfront offers, the algorithm takes into account things like time of day, historical trip data, and real-time demand at the destination.
Uber has found a way to take more money from us.
In the U.S., where this pay model has been in place for 2 years, a Columbia University study shows Uber drivers earned less than before. Toronto's Ride Fair Coalition, which advocates for better wages for gig workers, says Uber's new algorithm puts both drivers and riders at risk of price gouging.
It's designed to drive wages down, and it allows them to drive fares up. I think it's taking an unfair system and making it vastly worse.
Uber tells CBC News upfront offers give drivers more transparency and choice when deciding whether to take a trip. The company admits fares have gone up, but so did driver pay. In the U.S., Uber says median earnings grew nearly 30% over the last 6 years. In BC, where upfront offers were launched last month, employers must pay gig workers a minimum wage of $20.88 per hour for engaged time. Uber drivers in the U.S. put the new AI to the test and found out it was offering different amounts for the same trip without any clear explanation.
There is some algorithmic discrimination in that AI.
The vice president of the Rideshare Drivers Association of Ontario, herself a driver for Uber, is calling on the province to crack down on the practice now.
The Gig Workers Act, you know, that received royal assent more than 2 years ago and it still has not gone into effect.
That Ontario legislation will take effect in July of next year. The Ministry of Labour says the new protections will guarantee a minimum wage for each assignment, transparency around how work is assigned, and the right to know how their compensation is calculated. Philippe de Montigny, CBC News, Toronto.
Do you know what special holiday is happening?
Thanksgiving.
Yes, Thanksgiving. Do you know about Thanksgiving?
Yeah.
What's Thanksgiving?
Thanksgiving is something.
It's definitely something. What do you do on Thanksgiving?
I eat cake.
You eat?
Yes.
What do you like to eat?
Fries. And I like muffins.
Ooh, you like muffins. What's your favorite muffin?
Rainbow.
What are you thankful for? What are you thankful to have?
For a toy car. And I'm going to be a big sister.
You're going to be a big sister?
Yeah. And me and Ava are going to change the baby's bum.
Oh, yay. Are you so thankful that you're going to be a big sister?
Well, we're very thankful for that piece. That's a couple of cuties there from Stepping Stones Daycare in Corner Brook. Wishing everyone a happy Thanksgiving weekend. But there's more than turkey to celebrate. We have lots of people with birthdays and anniversaries this week. Have a look. Wishing Linda and Gord Farrell of Portabasque a very happy 50th wedding anniversary from your family and friends. Dave and Audrey Hurley are celebrating their 50th wedding anniversary tomorrow. They were married on Bell Island in 1974 and currently live in Yellowknife. Sending anniversary wishes to Alan and Wanda Daly on the occasion of their 50th wedding anniversary tomorrow. Bill and Daisy Dowding of Mount Pearl celebrated their 57th anniversary with family and friends on October the 6th. Happy 50th anniversary to Audrey and Gary Daw of Seal Cove, CBS. Love from their favorite daughter and the rest of the family. On Monday, Lillian and Cecil Moores of Brig Bay celebrated their 60th wedding anniversary. Happy anniversary to Nolan and Louina Gesso, who celebrated 53 years on Wednesday. They are from Nova Scotia, but they do live in Cape St. George 6 months of the year. 60th anniversary greetings are going out to Lavender and Stella Barney of Lansaloo, Labrador, who celebrated on Tuesday. And then Lavender celebrated his 90th birthday on Wednesday. You know, there was a party in Lansaloo. Russell and Barbara Harper of Topsail are celebrating their 57th wedding anniversary this past Wednesday. They are blessed with 4 children and their spouses, 14 grandchildren, and a great-grandchild, Raymond. The family thinks he's very cute. Wishing Brian and Margie Payne of St. John's a very happy 54th wedding anniversary yesterday. That comes from Christy, Scott, Evan, and Chad. Banfield and Eva Fudge, living in Milltown, formerly of Ramia, celebrated their 60th anniversary on Tuesday. Greetings from family and friends. Congratulations to Alma and Charlie Anderson of Burgeo, celebrating 65 years of marriage on October the 14th. Happy 57th wedding anniversary to John and Madonna Collins of Placentia from family and friends. Celebrating 64 years of marriage on October the 15th, Bill and Eileen Rule of Placentia. Love from the family. A happy 50th wedding anniversary to Clayton and Florence Baker from Snooks Harbor, Random Island. They're celebrating tomorrow. Greetings from their family and friends. Happy anniversary to Celestine and Dorothy Clark of Paradise, celebrating 55 years this past Tuesday. Happy wedding anniversary to Wilson and Donna Piercy of Mount Pearl, celebrating 50 years of marriage today. Happy 60th wedding anniversary is going out to Steve and Maureen Pike of Kilbride, married on October 10th, 1964. Happy 58th wedding anniversary on October the 14th to Aubrey and Zeta Parsons of Lumsden from all your family and friends. Happy 50th anniversary to Edward and Genevieve Stockley of New West Valley. There's lots of love from your family and friends. Michael and Margaret Woodford of Holyrood are celebrating their 68th anniversary on Sunday. Lots of love from your family. Happy 55th wedding anniversary to Gary and Lucinda Holloway of Mount Pearl. A happy 58th anniversary is going out to Ben and Joyce Hilliard of Red Bay. Love from your family and friends. And today is the 58th wedding anniversary of Rebecca and Joseph Brown of Northwest River. Let's see who's celebrating a birthday this week. Birthday greetings go out to Blanche Masters, who will celebrate her 93rd birthday on Monday. Blanche is currently residing at the Marystown Retirement Center. Happy 94th birthday to Margaret Hutchings of Stephenville. Greetings are coming from her family and friends. Abe Pittman of Deer Lake celebrated his 93rd birthday on Monday. Happy birthday, bud. Happy birthday goes out to Olive Gill, who turns 90 on October the 8th. Love and best wishes from family and friends. A happy 92nd birthday is going out to Margaret Jennings of Morton's Harbor. Her birthday was October the 9th. Happy 93rd birthday yesterday to Percy Rideout from your family and your friends. Happy birthday goes out to Annie Patey of St. Anthony, who turned 99 on Wednesday. All your family and friends hope you had a wonderful day. A happy 90th birthday to Marie Bridger of Millertown, now in Grand Falls, Windsor. Love and best wishes from your family and friends. Happy 90th birthday to Iva Powell of Carbonear. Hope you had a good one. Wishing a happy birthday to Eliza King, Pleasant View Towers, St. John's, who will be celebrating her 91st birthday on October the 13th. Greetings from her 4 children, her grandchildren, and her great-grandchildren in St. John's and Labrador City. Jane Dooley from Sweet Bay, who now lives in Clarenville, celebrated her 102nd birthday on Thursday. A happy 91st year young to Vera Smith of Elliott's Cove, living in Random Island. Shirley Bursey will be celebrating 97 years on Sunday. Love and best wishes from her family and friends. A happy 98th birthday greeting goes out to Melvin Grandy, formerly of Garnish, now living at the Marystown Retirement Center. Best wishes from your family and friends. Happy 102nd birthday to Walter Howell, who lives at Hillcrest Estates, formerly of Templeman, New West Valley. Greetings from all your family and friends, including that little bundle of joy in your arms there. Happy 93rd birthday to Ruth Maidment, living in Happy Valley Goose Bay, who will be celebrating her birthday on October the 12th. Love from your family and friends. Best wishes to Bella Dorsey, who will be celebrating her 90th birthday on Sunday. A happy 93rd birthday to Henry Young of Grand Falls, Windsor, celebrating tomorrow. Love from family and friends.
A final look at your forecast tonight. Ryan Snodden in for Ashley. And yeah, I mean, the weekend is going to be unsettled. That's the greatest way of putting it. Saturday is going to be the windiest day of the weekend, no question. We'll see with those winds gusting 60 to 70 kilometers per hour across a good portion of the province. A little bit lighter, but the wind from the northwest for Lab West and gusting to 50. It's going to be feeling below zero there for sure, with some wet snow in the mix throughout the day. Could see some slushy accumulation there. It's pretty wet. Nain down to Happy Valley Goose Bay. Again, rainfall and wind warnings in effect for that north coast. And we're going to be looking at across the island, again, those winds gusting 60 to 70. So that's just going to be a pretty breezy day, no question. We'll see temperatures high single, low double digits, and those showers are going to be on tap. Showers a little less frequent on Sunday, but nonetheless a chance for showers yet again, and a bit of a west to northwest flow across the province on Sunday. It's all thanks to this low, which is going to slowly wander out to the Labrador Sea, but really not go anywhere throughout the weekend. Just kind of sitting around, winding around in the Labrador Sea. We've got that colder air wrapping in from places like Iqaluit in the north down into the Labrador City region with the potential for that wet snow there. There's that trough that's going to be crossing the island tomorrow with a good chance of showers. In the wake of that trough, yeah, we are going to be seeing those winds pretty breezy again on Sunday, no question. Likely some gusts in the 40, 50 kilometer per hour range, maybe even stronger along that south coast, and those showers that are going to remain on tap. Then for Monday, that low will finally start to depart, and we're going to be seeing some breaks. And not only from the precipitation, just an isolated chance along that northeast coast on Thanksgiving Monday, but overall Monday's looking quieter. The wind's starting to ease as well, so Monday's going to be the day to get out and stretch and, work off some of that turkey from the weekend. That's your forecast to now. Jeremy.
Thanks, Ryan. Gosh, he's a dreamboat, eh? As promised, Labrador, we were going to show you some more of that light show last night, so have a look at these pictures. So these were taken last night from the Canadian Coast Guard ship, the Captain Jacques Cartier in Nain. So obviously it's there's a bit of fog there, but these were taken from the sea. So it's been so cool to see everyone's shots from around the province. Sorry if we couldn't get them all on, but we did our best and we wanted to show you a bunch of these. But I thought that this was cool. It's not a new experience in Labrador, but this is a new view, you know, from the Canadian Coast Guard vessel through the fog. So it's been a lot of fun taking a look at that. And I know as my part, from my time spent in Labrador a while back, that I got to see it many times. So I am spoiled like the people in Labrador are, but good laugh for everyone in St. John's. So we got 20 seconds left. Thanks so much for spending part of your evening with us, and a happy Thanksgiving to you and yours. All things go according to plan. Carolyn will be back here on Monday at our regular time, as well as Ryan Snodden. And guess what? If you're not sick of me yet, I'm going to be doing the weather next week. Bye-bye. Have a good weekend. Take care.